Your boy DL Hughley, B. Your boy DL Hughley, Rickey Smiley. DL Hughley, Rickey Smiley. We got some work. We got some work on DL Hughley and Rickey Smiley. All right? I mean, y'all can see what's happening to me, man. They demonetized my channel. They're taking my subs away from me. My subs are not growing. I'm shadow banned. All of that.
The type of episode that I thought I was going to be recording today. I woke up about an hour ago, and right now it's
before Trump got elected, right? Emperor, the olden disciple. Before Trump got elected, we couldn't say to this woman, "You got that dumb shit on your head, your fat fucking Miss Piggy fucking ass." We couldn't say that before Trump got elected. And another thing, they said Trump and Elon Musk gonna merge Parler and Twitter. We need to go over there early. We got to get ourselves some Parler accounts, y'all. We got to try to take advantage of this technology, man. I mean, I'm trying to build a community. It might not be with this channel. But anyway, let's go.
5 a.m. on Wednesday, November 6th. I woke up about an hour ago. I had gone to bed around 10, maybe 11. Honestly, I was super sleepy, and I had taken something for my anxiety to mellow me out. And
what do I tell y'all? Listen, I didn't watch this video. Bitch just looked like Miss Piggy, so I said, let's do it. So what do I tell y'all? Drugs, dog. The black woman is on drugs. She said she took something for her anxiety. Well, ma'am, do you drink any alcohol? Yeah, I have a glass of wine every night or whatever. So you drink alcohol and you take anxiety pills. Ma'am, what would make me think you in your right frame of mind at all? Why would I listen to you at all if you ain't nothing but on drugs? Like I keep telling y'all, these bitches are on drugs. And when we try to mix it all together, you start talking about excretions from their box.
November 6th, I woke up about an hour ago. I had gone to bed around 10, maybe 11. Honestly, I was super sleepy, and I had taken something for my anxiety to mellow me out, and it mellowed me out a little too hard. So I actually just took my butt to bed. I might have even fallen asleep before my son, before my almost 5-year-old. But I woke up at 4.
Here we go. So you got a 5-year-old, you're in there by yourself, and you're taking drugs and drinking. And you wonder why our black babies are fucked up.
And picked up my phone, like I imagine many of you guys did, saw the news, saw the latest news anyway, the way it's going. And, really brought me back to 2016. It was very similar. I had gone to bed because I couldn't bear the sadness, and I woke up to a very different reality than I had expected. And I walked out into my kitchen. Well, first I rolled over and I didn't see my husband.
Oh.
And I saw my son in bed with us because, of course, he is. Because, again, 5 years old.
Okay, so she do got a husband. Dang, poor man.
And I was like, where's my phone? Is it okay? So I walked out into the kitchen, and he was standing there in the middle of a spotless clean kitchen, sparkling clean. He had cleaned the whole kitchen, and the floors were clean, and the counters were clean, and he was just standing there in the kind of semi-darkness. And I just looked at him and I said, babe, I can't believe this. I can't believe this. And I just started to cry, and I walked over to him and he put his arms around me. And my husband is very, he's not a super emotional, like outwardly emotional guy. I think like a lot of couples who, you know, you have one person who's on the more emotional side, the other person just like balances them out. And he definitely is that. He definitely mellows me out. And honestly, in the past, it's something that's kind of driven me nuts because I'm super passionate and, you know, I'm very vocal and I feel things very deeply. And sometimes it can feel like I don't have, you know, someone on the other side who like kind of gets my energy and is more like exhausted by it. But there's like these magical moments in a relationship where I just kind of am like, okay, I understand. This is the balance that I need.
Wow. Wow. This is what men have to go through. And he's in there paying bills. He's crazy. Now, when she says, you know, I'm super emotional and he's not, and women do this. Ma'am, you don't look like Beyonce. A nigga ain't gonna run to your aid like you a damsel in distress. How do you have all this weight in your face and on your body and you expect somebody to run after you like a damsel in distress? That's crazy. Now, you're crying over Trump. Did anything in your mind, because you fell asleep on drugs last night, and one of the things that I never forgive black women for is to do their drugs or their liquor, because they only use liquor to fight or to fuck. More times than not, it's to fight. So, what do clown bitches do? They take their drugs and fall asleep. So you took your drugs and fell asleep and didn't give that man no pussy. Then you woke up and you cried and you ain't give him no pussy. What is the benefit of being with you? Unbelievable.
So he put his arms around me and he just said, listen, this is not the outcome that I expected or was hoping for. But for the sake of the boys, please, we can't let this, what were his words? Something like, we can't let this get us too down. We have to keep going and we have to stay positive. And he just kept saying, for the good of the boys, please don't let this consume you. So he said, please don't let this consume you. And
please don't let this consume you, because I know the last thing you're going to do is give me some pussy. You've been taking drugs and you fell asleep at night. You woke up, you ain't going nowhere, but you woke up to be crying over Trump instead of giving me some pussy. And you rather have a miserable and sour household environment where the children got to see you looking stupid over something that don't mean nothing to them or me, just you. Yo, bro, I don't know how I don't know how men do it, not y'all.
He really needed to hear that, to be honest. And it was that kind of quiet support and that quiet reminder of there is something bigger at play here. Our children, our family, and what am I willing to, how much am I willing to let feelings dictate my actions for the next hour, the next 24 hours, the next week, the next year, the next 4 years? How deeply am I willing to let the feelings of dismay consume me? Because they are there. I feel it. I cannot fucking... No, I'm not even going to say it because I can believe it, because we did it before. It was always likely that the country was going to go this way again. And so I believe it. When my husband said that, I hugged him back and we just sort of stood there in the kitchen in the dark for a while. And then he had been up, so it was around 4:30. He went to bed and I came down here and I sat right where I'm at in the Brown Ambition studio. And I looked at myself on the camera, you know, bathrobe and no makeup and exhausted, and nothing was going to make me feel better. Reading any news, nothing.
Not fucking your husband, not making him feel good, not giving him your fat pussy. Yo, we deal with some women in America that just They just disrespect, or not disrespect, they disregard anything that a brother may be wanting. If you really have this energy for Trump, get your fat fucking ass on the treadmill. Do something for yourself. You don't want to do nothing for yourself? Get your ass up on top of this dick. Do something for me. You are consumed with being a selfish pig. I can't do it, y'all. Let's do DL Hughley, man.
We know that overwhelmingly a lot of people have cast their votes. We know what kind of people.
So this is DL Hughley after Trump won. Y'all know DL Hughley was the #1 clown.
We are here. The moment is upon us. Election day. We know that overwhelmingly a lot of people have cast their votes. We know what kind of people they are. We know where they are. Obviously, we don't know what the results are, but we can tell by the looks of the candidates. One looks extremely confident, not overconfident. Confident. I believe they call it nauseous.
Yo, I want to play that other video so bad. Matter of fact, we got to do it. Fuck it, we got to do it. I want to play that other video so bad, B. We got to do it. So let's go DL Hughley, Kamala. Remember, he was talking that shit at the radio. Now, that's not the important part. The important part was the girl. The important part was the girl that was with DL. She was talking bullshit. So let's go. Let's go to DL Hughley then. Fuck it. Because she's sitting there quiet now. And this is what you got to deal with when you place yourself around these fucking manly ass bitches. They go quiet on you. They turn on you. Where's this DL Hughley channel? Hold on. Let's see where DL. Okay, this is DL's channel. Yo, B, clown ass nigga. Let's go to Kamala. Okay. Because remember, they was talking big shit 2 months ago. Right, here we go. Here we go.
Freshly ground.
It just makes a little more sense when you can hear how these people was beforehand.
That was a Tribe Called Quest trick to rhyme. So a lot of people have a lot of things to say. Why isn't Kamala talking to the media? She's been, on the campaign trail for 24 days. She hasn't talked to the media. Kamala's talking to the American people. It's awful arrogant that the media believe that they need for the candidate to talk to them in order to have a conversation with the American people. And I think the media thinks that they have more reach and expanse than they do. Most people, as many people get their news from social media as they do traditional media outlets. I think it is wise for Kamala Harris to let Donald Trump keep, what they say, if the enemy's digging a hole, let him keep digging. What is she going to say that's the evil of the dumb stuff that Donald says all the time? People call this a honeymoon, but a honeymoon is a short amount of time. But it couldn't really apply if you're only going to be married a little while. This is a truncated campaign season. It's only a few months. And in a few weeks from right now, early voting will begin in most of the United States of America. So the ideas that people have, the things that they're saying and believing in right now, are the things they'll vote on. And I would suggest, it is my hope that people who are planning to vote do so early. Let's make a concerted effort to make sure that those ballots that come in, you send them in early. And also do this. Do the same things you do. When you remember that there was this phenomenon, everybody thought they were attributing box office sales to certain movies, so everybody was encouraging you to look on the back of your ticket and look at your registration and make sure you're really registered to vote.
Now, what you're listening to is DL Hughley believing that because he's a comedian, he has influence and his voice means something to black people.
This is not a honeymoon. The honeymoon is trickling down when people start to get to know somebody and they start to like them less. But we're not in that process. This wave is taking off. And in a few weeks, early voting will begin in the United States of America. A few weeks. And so those things that they're saying that they believe right now will be the things that they vote on. They have made it increasingly harder in all kinds of places for black people to vote. They want to do manual counting in some place and to be able to not count ballots in some place. I would suggest this, that everybody that can get a ballot early and send it in as early as possible. And to make sure that you are registered to vote. Because
that wasn't the one. That wasn't the one. But we did see that he thought his voice meant something. Okay, we did that. That's when he was like, yo, he was saying, he went up on Kamala Harris station and he sat there and he said, he was at the DNC and he sat there and he said, yo, a lot of black people, you know, they just won't even type in Google. I was like, you bitch ass nigga, I'm not stupid like you. I would type in Google. I'm not going to talk about Kamala like you and be stupid.
President Harris, she's Indian, and they will quote, you know, many newspapers that said, well, it's the first Indian vice president. That you can be two things. And one dude went on to say his mother's Indian, but they didn't talk about her father, who was from Jamaica, whose last name is Harris. Harris is an English name. What do you think a Jamaican would get a name like Harris from? Oh yeah. English people from England took people from Africa to Jamaica for the slave trade. They're talking about biracial. It's funny because the very people who we are black because they said we were. As a matter of fact, they at one point said, if you have one drop of black blood, you are black. Now those very people are saying somebody with half their DNA being black, it is not black enough. It's interesting because VP Harris went to an HBCU, and if you look at the history of HBCUs, the initial students there, and a lot of the students there at HBCUs were the descendants of slave owners. And they all kind of looked like VP Harris. They were very biracial, but they didn't call them biracial.
Hold on. See what he's doing here? I don't think this is the video either, because I don't know how we missed that part. So he's basically saying Kamala Harris is Indian and Jamaican, but now he's saying she went to the HSBCU where all of those people were descendants of slave owners, when we know Kamala Harris wasn't no descendant of that. So he basically made his own argument. He was just saying how they all look like Kamala. Asshole, chameleon, tether, dumbass.
Racial back then. They didn't call them, biracial. They called them octoroons and quarter-roons. They called them suckers. They were illegitimate children of slave owners. They were the product of rape. But one thing they weren't was ambiguous about who they were. They knew they were black. Everybody else knew they were black.
Because they were descendants of slave owners. It don't matter how you look. It's how you got there. Anyway, let's go to when the nigga lost. I got Rickey Smiley too, just so y'all know. I got Rickey Smiley as well.
Right here, the moment is upon us. Election day. We know that overwhelmingly a lot of people have cast their votes. We know what kind of people they are. We know where they are. Obviously, we don't know what the results are, but we can tell by the looks of the candidates. One looks extremely confident, not overconfident. I believe they call it nauseously optimistic, and the other one is ranting and raving. I saw something on TikTok, and it was Generation Zers who are saying they plan to vote to cancel the MAGA parents' vote. So, in other words, they know that their parents are going to vote for Donald Trump, so they're going to vote for Harris. And the thing I found interesting is a lot of them for the first time are seeing that Access Hollywood tape when he talked about grabbing them by the pussy. So imagine having an 18-year-old child, and obviously they were so young they had never seen it before, who now has seen the video and now is wondering why you would support a man that says something like that.
All right. He's worried about Trump grabbing somebody by the pussy. But fuck all that. Look at this woman who voted for Kamala. Fuck what DL talking about. See, because the Gladiator BW let a dummy put his foot in his mouth. She ain't gonna say shit because she's lost.
Imagine having to explain that to somebody who you supposedly love, who you guide. Let's be truthful. If your child acted like Donald Trump, you would think you failed as a parent. If he talked the way he did, if he treated people the way he did, if he simulated giving fellatio on stage.
That's where you're wrong, DL Hughley. I'm a black man. Most black people I know want to be black. We don't want to be white like Trump. We don't want to do nothing white like Trump. We are black people. So we don't give a fuck what he do. We won't be doing it. I mean, yo, this dude is a bitch.
It's the way he did. As a matter of fact, it is hard to countenance how you would vote for somebody you don't for the president of the United States that you don't feel comfortable letting your children watch. I don't think Kamala Harris has ever said anything that you wouldn't feel comfortable with your, from the states that you would feel comfortable with your children watching. Watch.
There we go. That's where he put his foot in his mouth, as usual. They want queer books for regular kids to introduce them to queer life. They want transition. They want children under 18 transitioning. They want conversion therapy for children that transition. Now, do you want your children involved in that? D.L. Hughley is basically saying yes, but he's putting his foot in his mouth, man.
She's running for president, but almost everything he says you wouldn't want your children to do. I do not understand how you can countenance not wanting your children to act away or hear a thing, but still be in full support of it. Is that level of hypocrisy? It's why people.
You are the hypocrite, brother. People don't want their children introduced to queer books at the age of 7. People don't want to do what Dwayne Wade's son did. If that child is gay, he got to be gay in the closet, and he damn sure ain't going to get no conversion. No, people don't want their children in front of that.
People don't trust people. Imagine all the things that he said. We're talking about the man who ran for the president of the United States of America. They simulated oral sex in front of everybody. We're talking about a man who's running for the president of the United States of America. They talked about putting, a political opponent and hoping that they get having gun trained on them. We're talking about an American president that talked about rapists and has maligned people for no reason at all. And we're talking about people in the electorate that still haven't made their mind up.
D.L. Hughley, let me explain something to you, son. A lot of black people like you tried to be the way of the white person. And you abandon your black culture after making a bunch of money on us when we supported you because you was talking about going home and collard greens. Niggas never thought you was that funny, but we know what you was trying to do. And I'll give you credit for having a regular TV show. I'll give you that. But we all knew that you left yourself behind. And you just like a gay person to me. You and Rickey Smiley. Y'all want the regular laws of a man or the white man you want to participate in his laws, not understanding that laws of man is sophisticated with nuances. So the very thing you looking at might not be what it is because a man deal with it a different way. You try to adapt a white law, didn't want black people to support you in your whiteness. Now you trying to say why we don't vote for blackness. Like, brother, we don't play roller coaster games like that. That's too much. That is actually too much for me to try to follow. I can't do all that, dog.
After all of this, after all you've seen, one is talking about bringing the country together with policy and scripture they have. One is talking about you lose your house, everything will fall apart if you don't have me, and remember this. Now, one thing was about you.
See that? See how he lying again? We went about, 2 months trying to find out what Kamala Harris's policies were. So he just a liar.
And there are people still who are waiting for their last minute to make up their mind. But those young children have seen what you do. They've learned something about you. It is all through TikTok. They've learned that you lied to them. You told them to be a way, but you accepted. If a man did to your children, your daughters, what Trump has said it was okay to do, you would be voting for him.
See that right there? That's the same thing that other girl said. If the white people start killing on y'all and all this other crazy stuff, and black men are saying, yo, DL and other girl, yo, we don't live in fear. Yo, we don't live in fear. You scared, you bitch ass nigga. We're not living in fear out here. You trying to make like logical points. Nigga, screw you. That's fear-based. When you taking your money and running, you ain't trying to do nothing to make it secure. So I'm supposed to live in fear so you could thrive? Fuck you.
You would be voting for him. You be in jail. But that is the kind of things you have to accept for political expediency sake. You have to lower whatever moral bar you ever had, all in the of what? So we can have what you call a better economy, which we know wasn't true. You didn't care that millions of people died under his leadership because he was feckless and rudderless. You didn't care about that. You just care about whatever alleged economy uptick you're going to have, which that isn't true either.
Now, what do I teach y'all what happens when you hear all these Kamala Harris people talk? Never talk about black boys. This man got money. He ain't thinking about helping no black boys. He talking about all this white shit. Yo, this dude is sick. I'm telling y'all something.
Ultimately, people have seen you, and there's people who, when that video came out, you had to turn your children would have never been able to see that. They could never watch the man you would both watch speak that way. You couldn't even speak that way in your house because you're a good Christian family, a good wholesome family. You wouldn't let your children hear anything like that. And now they know that not only did they hear it, you heard it, and still made that decision. It is my sincere hope that Trump 2024 is not a political tagline. I hope that Trump 2024 is actually an expiration date. That's a little note from GD station. Got Jazz Report coming in 15 minutes.
Look, that bitch ain't say nothing. She lost. Yo, it's sad, son. Let's get this Rickey Smiley. Let's go.
A lot of folks were concerned when they saw him flipping Georgia, winning North Carolina, Pennsylvania is red as of this morning. He took to the stage in Florida to a packed convention hall surrounded by members of his family and campaign team. He claimed the victory with his speech saying, "I want to thank the American people."
It's only right. We got to go back to the Rickey Smiley shit. Rickey Smiley crying over Kamala. Rickey Smiley crying over Kamala. It's only right. It's only right. Rickey Smiley crying over Kamala. It's only right, y'all. Gotta see the front end of these clowns, B. Gotta see the front end.
And she ended his introduction, Rickey, saying, in 91 days, the nation will know Coach Walz by another name, Vice President of the United States. Are you excited about Tim Walz? I already know
Yeah, always.
What excites you the most about him?
Just that he's just a regular, like he reminds you of your high school principal. He reminds you of your high school football coach, and he was a football coach that led his team to a national, not national, but to a state championship. And he is just awesome. He's for the people. He stand up.
Governor Walz is awesome. You hear a black man talking, you know you dealing with a bitch ass nigga. When a black man calls a man that looks like this awesome, you know we fucked up. He said he's awesome. You know we done fucked up. I don't think that's the video though. This dude's crazy. Here we go. Here we go. This nigga was crying. Yeah, that shit was funny as hell.
Hey, what's going on, fam? This is Jay Cameron inviting you to join us in Ethiopia next March 2025. And this is going to be
They are on the Kamala Biden train right now. Of course, we know Biden is no longer running. It's Kamala who will be representing. How did he feel about Tim Walz? And he said, oh, well, you know, he seems like a great guy because he is a football coach and all that other stuff. Nothing really too serious, right? And then for whatever reason, he went on this tangent.
Okay, so we did have the video. Okay, let's do it. Sorry about that, y'all.
Just garbage. Everybody got to find it. I'm not with her. Okay, so if you're not with her, that means you with Trump. And y'all need to block every last one of their asses on Facebook and on Instagram and social media and stop. Like that's just garbage. Yeah. It's just garbage. Everybody got to find can't agree on a damn bucket of chicken. One person want a hot dog. Black folks get on my damn nerves, man. Why everybody making all these celebrities making all these videos going off on Kamala Harris and stuff, and then the black men, Kamala Harris didn't prosecute you and treated you bad in court. I got treated bad in court too. But I'm with her because a vote for her. If you sit at home and you don't support her, you are definitely supporting Donald Trump. You can vote for who you want to, but don't be trying to encourage other people and sit up there and put bad stuff. Where's that same energy for Donald Trump?
Yeah.
Well,
you know, I'm just like, don't vote for it. They're not
even doing, y'all not even out here doing real research. And look at her record. If you do the research on whatever, stop believing everything you read and do real research, you can see what a record is. You can see what she have done. I think you can Google what have Kamala Harris done for the black community, or things that black people benefit from a lot. We need to stand with her. We need to stand with her. She's great. She will make a great president. And what a blessing to be living in a time where a black woman can become president of the United States of America. In our time, we get a black man and a black woman become president. That's unheard of. Come on, stop it.
Be on the right side of history. Be on the right side of history.
That's so. It's just the Amber Rose and everybody got all these videos and stuff and talking about Kamala Harris talking out of both sides of her. How would you say something so disrespectful? Even if you felt that way, I wouldn't dare make a video or say nothing like that to the vice president of the United States of America that's trying to stand up and that's going to possibly pick 2 United States Supreme Court justices or whatever to try to keep the laws in place that Thurgood Marshall and all of the people that have paved the way and try to redo and get back into some of this settled law, women's rights to choose, your voting rights, and Brown versus the Board of Education. Do your homework.
But hold up. Let me just tell you something right here that could be very historic. And Kay pointed this out to me. If Kamala Harris is elected, she would be sworn in.
She could be sworn in
MLK Day
by the first black Supreme
and
Court.
And possibly by Ketanji Brown Jackson.
Wow.
Does that not give you chills?
Stop it.
Does that not send
Maria?
Ma'am, we don't give a fuck. Ma'am, you are excluding men out of your argument, and Rickey Smiley is sitting his dumb ass there letting you do that right in his face. He's making you feel proud to say something stupid. Yo, men don't give a fuck. Fuck is wrong with these people, man? BT, what's good, man?
What's up? Weak, cowardly, insecure, foolish, but most importantly, immune to logical conversation as males, bro. These Rickey Smiley and DL Hughley, bro, I've had smoke for them for a long time. Respectfully, of course, because in real life, outside of this, I can have a logical conversation with them until it gets to politics. Want to know why the Democratic Party chooses black comedians? Because a lot of black comedians, especially these 2 guys in particular, they're not that funny. A lot of these dudes, bro, it's not about their comedy. It's the fact that they can get a rise out of people. Like, they know how to get to people's emotions. And the thing is with guys like DL Hughley and Rickey Smiley, bro, they create echo chambers. And by that, I mean, they're like, if Prince Simp try to talk to Rickey Smiley, Prince Simp is going to have nothing but logical, fact-based evidence. All Rickey Smiley going to do is hit you with the, yo, mama black, and you're talking about the first ever, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's not going to let you get...
Hold on. You do this, you do a good impression. Hold on here. Hold on, man. Hold on. Tell me about talk to me in Rickey Smiley voice. Hold on.
Oh, you want me to go, bro? We roast niggas. Bro, where I'm from, we roast niggas for a living. You don't want a piece. Niggas don't want a piece of me, bro. Niggas don't want a piece of me, bro. I've been doing this shit since I was a child. Yeah, bro.
Yo, but I understand where you coming from, man.
Nah, man.
So that's how come I wanted to play that back first. So before we hear what happened when they lost, because I don't think anybody heard from him since he lost. But I got the video from his radio show.
Yeah. Because let me tell you about black dudes like him. They're from that generation of shut the hell up, nigga, and do as I say from the women. Which, hey, if that's what works for you.
No. So am I.
Yeah.
So am I.
You know, like, and not to mention the fact that Rickey Smiley is the kind of guy I can tell. He's not an overbearing personality like that. He's the kind of guy.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, he's not.
Hold on. So we could both be from the shut the fuck up era, but I had uncles and stuff like that. He might have not had no uncles, right?
Right. I had uncles too.
Right. So that a lot of brothers don't have uncles, B, for real, cousins or nothing.
Yeah, man. I mean, plus I had my dad too.
No, I understand, man. You know.
Can you still hear me, bro? A bit of
the phone messing up or something.
Yeah, that was people. That's people calling me. Can you hear me now? Nah, bro. You know, Ricky's the kind of guy who he'll tell Prince Simp, "You better stay in line. You better stay in line. That's a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated." You know what I'm saying? Like,
hold on, he about to do it. Hold on.
The whole body vibrates.
Maria, I can go deep into that. You got a member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated.
Yeah. Do that.
not a member of Delta Sigma Theta sorority incorporated. Let me tell you something, bro. If that black woman wants you to lick her toes, you lick her toes. It's okay if they stank a little. It's okay if they stank a little. Okay, so what? She not black. She Indian. Indians can be black. Ain't India in Africa? That's North Africa, ain't it?
Yeah, I didn't
Y'all
expect
so
it.
y'all so disrespectful.
Hold on.
Y'all boys.
Hold on.
Boys will be boys.
Hold on.
Alpha sorority incorporated into the damn White House. What's wrong with y'all? Come on, man.
MLK holiday.
But y'all mad because you were talking about
Who
reparations.
was a member of Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity incorporated?
Come on,
Come on now.
Yo, you crazy, B. That was good, B.
Oh man.
Oh
No,
man.
No,
So,
man.
hold on. So he had all that smoke, right?
Right.
Now let's hear him on election day.
For the extraordinary honor of being elected your 47th president. It's a whole lot of red with these results. Republicans have won control of the U.S. Senate, retaking the chamber for the first time in 4 years. It gives the GOP a major power center in Washington and a lead role in confirming the next president's cabinet, as well as any Supreme Court justice. If there's a vacancy, control over the House of Representatives is still up for grabs, but it's looking like Republicans are going to keep that narrow majority lead. Still about 100 races yet to be called.
Yo, say
Hold on. What'd you say?
Yo, I don't know if you watched the election. That shit was over early, bro.
Like, it was over so early.
That shit was over early.
It was over so early that I didn't want to go to sleep. I was like, it gotta be some numbers that's gonna come back. You know what I'm saying? I thought she was gonna get Pennsylvania to make it close, where she would have jumped up to like 212 to 230. So I thought it never got close.
They talking about educated black people, bro. I'm from a Democratic city. The most people who voted. I'm from a Democratic city, bro. And I'm from a Republican state, but I'm from a Democratic city. Let me tell you something, bro. The majority of people who voted for it's gonna be single women, bro. That's the majority of people who voted for.
I don't view. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, bro. A lot of educated, like people say, like all educated black men. No, a lot of educated black men did not vote for. They had extremely logical arguments as to why. Like their campaign was horrible. Their campaign was absolutely horrible.
Did you hear what the bitch Candy said about the uneducated people?
Yeah, and niggas was tearing up on Twitter.
Yeah, that shit was crazy.
No, it was ignorant, and you could tell she's the type of female. You could tell, I don't know much about it, but just from her talking, you can tell she thinks she's better than a lot of people.
I like that. See, I like that all bitches thought that because it played out the show that you really wasn't. See what I'm saying? See, we didn't have to do it. See, that's the best part about it. We didn't have to do it.
And what also sealed the election for them is I don't think you realize how culturally significant it was for Trump to go to McDonald's, bro. Bro, there's a lot of people. There was a lot of dudes, especially from my particular part of town, who saw that. They was effing with that, bro. Like niggas in Baton Rouge saw Trump do that, bro. Niggas in Baton Rouge was really rocking with that, bro. Like him going to McDonald's like that, they really was rocking with that.
Yo, watch this, homie.
If you look at the New York Times this morning, the headline was "America makes a perilous choice." I think that in 2016 we didn't know what we would get from a Trump administration, but we know now, and we know now that he will have almost unfettered power. And so I worry not about myself, actually. I don't worry about my station in life. I worry about the working class. I worry about my mother, a retired teacher. I worry about our elderly and their Social Security and their Medicare. I worry about my children's future, especially my daughter, who now has
not her son, but anyway, let's go.
Less rights than I have. And I remember my father telling me many, many years ago that I was the first person in his family to enjoy full civil rights. And now I have less civil rights than I had when he told me that. So again, I'm profoundly disturbed that the 14th Amendment of the Constitution.
Why are they lying like that? That's a lie for the unintelligent.
From becoming president.
Hold on, she going to call people uneducated because that's what you was talking about. I wanted to bring that up.
of the United States. I think that going forward, the convicted felon box on employment applications better be taken off, because if you can be the president of the United States, then you should not be prevented from employment in this country. Because I remember applying for my jobs as a federal prosecutor, and there was a box for convicted felon. Well, and so that box better be taken off. And I think our healthcare system is now at risk. I think
no fluoride for anyone.
Yeah, economists have made clear that he's going to increase the debt by $7.75 trillion.
It might be right here.
Deportation and and decided to support some 70 percentile voting for the vice president. Well,
here we go
into the demographics, because black women tried to save this country again last night. 92% of
black women tried to save this country. Who the hell she thinks she is? That's crazy. Let's go.
They think they're God, bro.
You had Latinas in 70 percentile voting for the vice president. What we did not have is white women who voted about 52%, right, for Donald Trump. Uneducated white women, is my understanding.
Uneducated white women. Who the hell do she think she is? Yo, we can't say shit. See, that's what's changing. That they're able to say everything and we don't get to say anything. See, that's what's going to change, and that's why they mad. See, freedom of speech is back. See that?
And understand this well. People are going to cook this lady in ways. The thing is, this lady, not very attractive lady, probably's always had good jobs, probably been on had a very nice life the last 20 years. But I didn't mean to call her old, by the way, but I can tell she's not exactly, you know what I mean? I can tell she's had a nice life the last couple of 20 years. But let me tell you something, bro. Calling people uneducated. And the thing is, you know what people did in retaliation? They went out and voted. They went and showed her how they felt about not only her, but about this whole election. And guess what? They're about to learn the hard way. You can't talk to people any type of way.
Hold on. Let me jump in. Now, you make a great point. See, because what the black women had tried to do was do like the white women do, which is smile in your face and vote behind your back. You know what I'm saying? Not so much me or you, just in general. See what I'm saying? They say pro-black, even though they don't know what Kamala stands for. Now, they believe Trump is pro-white. And she said, the black women tried to save the country. You failed. Pro-white beat you. So why wouldn't you just be black?
Facts. I got to jump out for a second. I'll be right back.
All right, go ahead. I want to get to this Rickey Smiley.
Richmond told supporters of Vice President Harris at Howard University that they would not be hearing from her on election night, but assured that she would speak to voters today. So we are going to be looking out for that speech. We're going to have Roland Martin on the show to break down the results. Dr. Aldewan Hart is also going to be on to talk about post-election stress, because a lot of emotions are high right now. Of course,
post-election stress. As a black woman, you sound stupid. A black woman always trying to act like they a lady. Oh, let me watch myself. My gladiator might be coming home. Let me tell you something. What do you mean stress? Yo. Let me play the video. Fuck it. I'm sorry, y'all.
I know you were up late last night. I saw you live.
Yeah, I was up late. Just keeping it real. We definitely got to have a conversation about what now, what's next. You know, I feel like we're about to go back to the George Floyd days and all of that stuff with the protests, and when it was really, really bad. I think we head back to that. I think you have to embolden it.
Well, hold on, Ricky. What about this? Hold on. You hear the difference in that man's voice? My goodness.
Oh my God, it just gave me chills. It gave me chills.
Game. Talk about game.
Y'all better come get me off this radio.
You want to keep going now?
You want to keep going?
They're gonna be mad at you today, Rick.
I don't care. Stop me. I don't care about who get mad. I know I'm right. Exactly. I know I'm right. Y'all need to stop. Do y'all realize Medgar Evers died for voting rights? All these people that have risked their lives from slavery up until the civil rights movement.
You hear the swag in Rickey Smiley's voice? Now listen.
It's racist. It's going to be bad, and the economy is going to definitely change. If you think it's bad now, it's going to be worse.
Yeah, Rickey, I'm also interested in what the commentary is going to be with the young voters. Because, in Georgia, we saw over 500,000 new voters in the state for the first time. And I thought that a lot of those newer voters were going to go Democrat.
A lot of them are entertained by, the antics, and they think it's funny, and they think it's a game, and they think, and it is all fun and games until things get real. And when things get real and people realize what has been done and how long-lasting these effects are going to be,
And I believe, Maria, that this is going to be the last election because we are set up for him to be king. I don't even think they have he's not going to be president. He's going to be operating as a king because everything,
Yo, Dolomite, do you hear the difference in this man's voice? That's what happens when his female champion gladiator got her back kicked in. See what I'm saying? A defeatist tone. See that? See that? This is what happened when you let a bitch. Yo, remember, y'all. Prince Simp. Remember, I know y'all laugh at me and everything, but understand who I look up to. I look up to Mendici. Okay? So does Mendici have options? Is Mendici at a loss because a woman provides for him? I look up to people like what's my other dude? Papoose. I look up to Papoose. Okay, even though he got left. So that's the downside. I look up to who? Apollo Nida. See, Apollo Nida. Phaedra, he had Phaedra, big boss. She wanted too much out of him. Apollo Nida has options. We're not your ugliest men out here. You understand? So Apollo Nida's gonna always be all right. So, don't think that just because you a simp or whatever that you got to be like Rickey Smiley. Hell no. I'm a man before I'm anything else. Are you kidding me?
That creates a democracy is going to be no more.
There's no legal or constitutional restraints on him at all. And I hope y'all understand what that means. There's no legal or constitutional restraints. The Supreme Court has already said anything he does as president is legal. Literally, anything.
Well, when have we lived in a country where the white man couldn't do whatever he wanted to? You should be happy you got a radio show making money, get to talk about whoever you want to without getting your fucking teeth knocked in because of all the cameras and stuff. That's what you should be happy about.
Anything.
Well, the conversation continues, and again, we'll be talking about it throughout the morning. We have more of the Rickey Smiley Morning Show coming up next.
Well, hold on. Hold on. So y'all not going on and on. Let's keep going.
Drop it like it's on. Drop it like it's on.
Michael Jackson biopic Michael has been pushed back by 6.
Wow.
Ray says that Sophie claiming he's suffering from emotional distress.
Okay, here we go.
It is about 14 before the top of the hour, y'all. Y'all hang in there this morning, hanging there with us because we feel the same way y'all feel. It's like I'm living in a daze. I'm so saddened and disappointed that we was not able to get Kamala Harris elected first black woman to become president. Special case.
So you feel bad, don't you get it? You're on the black woman's side, and these very men that you cursed out beat you. They beat you.
If you do the research on whatever, stop believing everything you read and do real research, you can see what a record is. You can see what she have done. I think you can Google what have Kamala Harris done for the black community or things that black people benefit from or not. We need to stand with her. Yes. We need to stand with her. She's great. She will make a great president. And what a...
Here we go. So that didn't work out.
Hey, in your own way, this morning we was having a real conversation now. And Maria, you said something too, just talk about how sexist this country is, just as it is racist.
Sexist and racist. Where did we hear that from, y'all? All the girls that we watch on TikTok. That's where we heard that at. All the racist stuff came from TikTok. So he talks like a girl. We got that. We got that established, right? He talks like these bitches on TikTok. Rickey Smiley and D.L. Hughley should be ashamed of themselves.
Kay, you start out there, Maria, you can follow.
Well, I mean, I'm just rolling the clock back. There should have never even been a situation that could have happened if Mitch McConnell had did what he was supposed to do as the House.
Oh, they blaming people now. That's what the bitch has been doing.
The Senate Majority Leader with the impeachment after January 6th, if he had got the Senate to convict Donald Trump, then he would not have been able to run for president. And then Merrick Garland.
That's not how y'all was talking. Y'all was talking like this.
A blessing to be living in the time where a black woman can become president of the United States of America. In our time, we get a black man and a black woman become president. That's unheard of. Come on, man. Stop it.
Be on the right side of history. Be on the right side of history.
That's so. It's just the Amber Rose and everybody got all these videos and stuff and talking about Kamala Harris talking out of both sides of her. How would you say something so disrespectful? Even if you felt that way, I wouldn't dare make a video or say nothing like that to the vice president of the United States of America that's trying to stand up and that's going to possibly pick 2 United States Supreme Court justices or whatever to try to keep the laws in place that Thurgood Marshall and all of the people that have paved the way and try to redo and get back into some of this settled law, women's rights to choose, your voting rights, and Brown versus the Board of Education. Should do you.
Brother, you ain't said shit about the black man, you dumbass.
The useless attorney general who did not who chose not to prosecute any of these charges against Donald Trump until it was a year out from the election where he was able to push everything back. He sat on all these charges for 2 years. That should not have happened. He should have never been in that position. But to come up to what happened last night, just the amount of black men and Latino voters that threw their support behind the person that has been openly hostile toward us.
Why do you think black men and Latinos voted for Trump?
Well, I mean, some would say that they felt disrespected by the Democratic Party. I think it was more misogyny involved in it, but some say they felt that black men felt disrespected and unheard by the Democrats. Men
just aren't ready to be led by a woman.
That too.
That's just what it is. And I think that a lot of people's words and actions didn't match when it came time to actually voting. Men just aren't ready.
Right. I agree.
It's just we're not ready. And sadly, I don't know if we're going to see a female.
First of all, bitch, we showed you we're not ready. We proved, we voted, and we said no. Ain't no not ready. We said no. Go sit down. And you said no, I'm gonna go vote for Kamala anyway. And it showed that what you wanted to do on your own don't work. Fuck these people are something else. And you mad that we have freedom of speech back, and you got to get your ass back home to me, and you got to get your ass in that kitchen for me. You could be mad, you could yell, you could cuss, you could do whatever you want. Because guess what? If the economy go bad, who is going to be bad for? The black woman. She the only one thriving, right? So the economy ain't going to be bad for the black man because he was never included. You know what I'm saying? So what you say? So once they start killing y'all, ma'am, we're willing to take that risk. Just so your ass don't think that you won anything. Fuck are you talking about? Yo, these people are sick, bro.
President in our lifetime. I think there's
not only will you not see a female president, Maria, it's not gonna be no more election. I'm telling y'all.
And
that was the last election. It ain't gonna be no midterm. It ain't gonna be.
There's no fixing this.
None.
There's no going back and for the people who said I demand tangibles or we demand tangibles or we demand to be heard. Well, guess what? Now you're never gonna be heard because
homie, let me say something to you, homie. You ain't never had a conversation with me to know what I ever wanted. You couldn't give a fuck. You was too busy worried about that bitch in the room with you. So now you sound stupid because you coming from an explanatory, dialogue. So what happens is you got to explain yourself. You never came to talk to me about nothing. So all that we and us, it ain't never been that. You and Rickey Smiley chose your side. Ain't no real man in America going to stand up for no Kamala stuff because it's past her just being a woman.
Trust me, the people that are there now, they don't care about your needs and your wants and your tangibles.
Well,
and they don't owe you anything.
Just to play devil's advocate, I think that there is some stupidity on the side of people who feel like Trump is fit to lead, but there's also stubbornness on the side of Democrats. And I think that there needs to be a point where we are actively pursuing some type of understanding of why people are so attracted to this man. This can be a loss or it can be a learning lesson.
Okay,
well, you wasn't saying that back then.
Your homework.
But hold up. Let me just tell you something right here that could be very historic.
Ma'am, you wasn't talking like this. Look how you was, ma'am.
And I think that there needs to be a point where we are actively pursuing some type of understanding of why people are so attracted to this.
But you didn't have understanding back then.
And Kay pointed this out to me. If Kamala Harris is selected, she would be sworn in.
She could be sworn
on
in
MLK Day
by the first Black Supreme
and
Court.
possibly by Ketanji Brown Jackson.
Wow.
Does that not give you chills?
Stop it.
Ma'am, you was talking about getting the chills over two lesbians. You wasn't trying to have understanding why the men voted the other way. You was worried about Ketanji Brown and all this other shit. So that's why we call Rickey Smiley a bitch ass nigga, because he was listening to people like you, people that will go back on your own team, and when you lose, you're not a real loser, you're a sore loser. So you're not really ride or die. But nobody's supposed to know that about the Black woman. Gotcha.
Does that not send
Maria,
just make your whole body vibrate?
Maria,
Oh my
I can go
God.
deep into that. You got a member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated reading in a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated into the damn White House. What's wrong with y'all?
On MLK holiday.
But y'all mad because we
y'all.
talking about
Who
reparations.
was a member of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated?
Come on
now.
Okay.
Man, this can be a loss or it can be a learning lesson.
Okay, but
You know?
where do you go from here is what I'm saying.
Where do you go?
If
You rebuild. I mean, I remember when
Rebuild
George
what?
Bush and Al Gore were running against each other, and everybody thought it was the end of the world.
No, this ain't
Was
George
the
Bush.
end
George
of the
Bush
world.
didn't get
Hey, Maria.
Well, if you want to be pessimistic, that's fine. I'm just
I'm
trying
being
to like,
realistic.
yeah.
This man has absolute power. Do you understand?
Oh, you want to be pessimistic? That's fine. Ma'am, what you're saying too in the streets, because we got to stop playing these stupid games. Ma'am, as a Black woman, what you're saying is in the streets about being pessimistic about my enemy. Ma'am, you want to go ride with them? Fuck you mean pessimistic? I mean, what you mean optimistic? She's optimistic about the enemy. Bitch, are you stupid? That's why we don't listen to you women. You don't guide me in the war. Are you stupid?
Understand what that means? George Bush did.
Everybody thought it was the end of the world.
No, this ain't George Bush. George Bush didn't get that.
Hey, Maria.
Well, if you want to be pessimistic, that's fine. I'm just
I'm
trying
being
to like,
realistic.
yeah.
This man has absolute power. Do you understand what that means? George Bush didn't have that.
Maria, it's a little bit different, Maria, because Trump has stated that, hey,
I see you, BT.
Election, we don't have to. It ain't gonna be. This is
We don't have
not
to do
just a
anymore
little
election.
different. Maria, this is totally different. This man hangs out with Putin. He hangs out with dictators. He hates democracy. He has the Supreme Court stacked. He has the Senate. He might be getting the House. He has everything he needs, and he has control of the military. He's going to put people in place. He can send people out if they don't like something you said on the radio, Maria, and take you to jail, and it ain't nothing you or your family can do about it. And period. This is like a whole.
All I'm asking you and Kay, Rickey, is all that we have to offer our listeners is helplessness.
It's not helplessness. We gotta look at what we're really looking at. We gotta look at this for what it really
But
is.
you're just what it really is.
can
We
look
have
at
no
the rose
control.
colored
There's
glasses.
nothing we can do. Then why are we having this conversation?
To warn people that they better.
They let people know that y'all about the FA and the FO.
Yeah, get your house in order, because we're gonna be living in a different time, because everything that you know as democracy is gonna be gone. It's gonna be gone.
And we're not talking about tomorrow. We're not talking about next week. But 2 years from now, you might not recognize this country. We've never lived in a system that wasn't a democratic system. That didn't have democracy. We never lived in that. None of us have. So we don't know what it looks like, but we know that we're staring down the barrel.
Listen, I'm trying to be fair here. This is how these same people was talking like this when they thought they would be able to defeat you.
Oh my God, that just gave me chills.
Mm.
It gave me chills.
Game.
Man,
Talk about game.
y'all better come
Go
get me off
sports.
the radio.
Come get him.
Hey, you keep going. You want to keep going, y'all? You want to keep going?
They gonna be mad at you today, Rick.
I don't care. Stop me. Go. I don't care about who get mad. I know I'm right.
Exactly.
I know I'm right. Y'all.
Rickey Smiley said he know he's right about who's gonna win. Let's go.
All right now.
You know, and then Maria, I started thinking about the George Floyd days or whatever. You know, if these white supremacists, police officers and different ones start feeling themselves and becoming more, you're gonna feel it today in the grocery store. Oh, when you go to the grocery store and you go to Walmart, Target, Home Depot, oh, you're gonna feel how honorary people are gonna be. You're gonna feel it today, just the whole vibe and the energy. But you know, it ain't no hey, let's get this. That's what he said in his acceptance speech, or whatever. But it ain't no bringing the country together. This man's finna rule like Vladimir Putin, and we're gonna be living in a different. Think about the policies: healthcare, food for seniors, daycare, women's rights,
Department of Education,
Department of Education, all
the
that
inability to protest. They want to be able to squash protests using the military.
Well, we're going to be talking about it all morning, so make sure you guys continue to listen. We'll have some special guests on, more election coverage right here on the Rickey Smiley Morning Show. Hold it.
BT, what's good? Go ahead while I find this stuff.
My bad, bro. Before I always go to the gym, I always like to. I have a little weird routine I do. I go to the gym and I read a book before I go. Like I read a book and then I go. Clears my mind. So forgive me for my little weird rituals or whatever. But you know, now that I have time to kind of take a deep breath and not just attack these dudes, you know, DL Hughley, Rickey Smiley, and guys like him, right from their time, they're the victims of a time period where a lot of black folks, in my opinion, they suffer from not having as much access to information as we do nowadays. And because of this, what you're hearing is the rhetoric of black folks of old, right? Like they're more democratic than they are logical. And here's how I know it's mainly just them. I've talked to quite a few Republicans who told me 10, 12 years ago they voted for Barack Obama because forget about him being a black, forget about all this stuff. It was the fact that he seemed like the better candidate for the job at the time. But the thing DL Hughley and Rickey Smiley suffer from, they suffer from, like, you hear their rhetoric, you hear how they speak, you hear how they present all their talking points. The way things are now, the average 16-year-old who's partial, who wasn't raised in a household where people are overly Democratic, overly Republican, the average 16-year-old with as much access we have to information, they could tear these guys' arguments apart because that's just how much information we have access to. That's just how easy it is to do research on both candidates. And when you research both candidates, forget about how you feel, forget about any narrative. When you research both candidates, it became very clear, especially after Trump served the first time, 70% of the country found Donald Trump to be a better candidate, regardless of how they felt, regardless of what they fear. And the thing is, there's a lot of logical arguments as to why he was voted for.
Well, I agree with Rickey Smiley and them. This was a sex war and a race war. You understand? I agree. We took part in the sex part of it, and the white man took part in the race part of it. And you know, it is what it is. You understand? Because it's sad what they was trying to do to us. That shit crazy. Your own family, the people you live with, the people you sleep with, had an undertone of her being the president while coexisting with you.
Let's just say a black woman ran against Kamala Harris. Let's say a black woman ran against Kamala Harris. She's married to a black man, and she has the exact same rhetoric as Donald. No, she has the same exact rhetoric as Donald Trump. Let's just say two black women were running. Do you still think that whether you consider Kamala Harris black or not is irrelevant to me? This is just for the case in point of this conversation. Do you think that with Kamala Harris's rhetoric, do you still think if she ran against another black woman, she would have won?
If she went against another black woman?
Yeah.
That's a great question. I would have never thought of it that way. I wouldn't answer that in 1 minute.
I can tell you right now, another black woman with the same exact talking points as Trump would have probably beat Kamala Harris by
I could go for that. I could go for that.
By close to the same margin Trump did, if not more so, because
I could go for that.
Like I said before, and a guy said it this morning, nobody cared about the narratives. Everyone cared about the policy. But the thing is, DL Hughley and oh boy, they don't want you to see that because for one, they are stakeholders in this. They are stakeholders in this gynocracy. Yes, they are. They make money off of emotional black people.
Well,
Notice how
that's cool. That's cool. Because it didn't work out for what he was really trying to do.
They make money off
and
of
he got to
emotional.
continue doing that.
Right.
That's what we were saying. All that pro-black shit becomes a lie when this don't work. Hold on.
First and foremost is this. The vice president ran an amazing campaign. She did not do any major screw-ups. And I think what you have is you have a nation that does what nations do when they have this fear of the future. You look at immigration. You have this. You look at the economy. Let's be real clear. Donald Trump crashed the economy, and Biden-Harris restored the economy. And what this nation decided is, let's reward the guy who tanked the economy. And in their minds, it's as if they forgot the pandemic happened. And it's like, oh, let's go back to that. You have this rightward shift. You have suburban women who are +4. You have these people who believe they believe in their minds that crime is out of control, even though the stats say differently. They believe the economy is awful, even though the stats say differently. And so America's on a wrong track. How is America on a wrong track? When you look at all economic indicators, it's simply not true. And so that's the perspective that they have. And you look at what happened, a Midwest collapse, you look at Latino voters, bottom line is black people did our job. And so this is where you say, okay, this is the country y'all want? Y'all really want a guy who led an insurrection. You want to go back to a guy who lied constantly. And let's be real clear. She had policies. She had plans. This man admitted he had none of it. He had concepts. And they said, it doesn't matter. That's great. That's wonderful. So white women deal what white women do. When you look at, again, it's across the board. And so this is, they think, in their mind, they think that this guy, he's the answer. Despite everything that goes against that. And so that's what they want. So black people, listen, we did our job. We did our job. The rest of these folks didn't.
Roland, I have a question for you. One of the sources of the argument we were having this morning. What is your realistic view of how does this bode for the future 2028? What does this set up with him having the level of support and power that he now has and the support of the Supreme Court? What does this set up for 2028 realistically?
Well, here's the first thing. You can't get to 28 until you get to deal with 2026. So first, if Democrats win the House and Hakeem Jeffries becomes Speaker of the House, that means they can't pass any
I have a serious question to ask
you. Go through the Democrat House. So that's the one thing that we are focused on with these House races. Will Democrats win the House? That's first. Now, when you talk about the Supreme Court, right now it is a conservative 6-3 Supreme Court right now. And so the fear is that, Alito Thomas resigned or retired, and then he replaces him with 2 younger Supreme Court justices, and they still are up 6-3. And so that's what you see right there. But people have to understand is when you a person's reality is, again, how a person feels differs in what else is there. Again, all you heard was someone said, crime is awful. Crime is like literally, that's simply not the case. But these folks have this view, and so Donald Trump comes in with his tough talk. Oh yeah, he's gonna fix it. Okay, yeah, good luck. And then immigration. He's gonna fix immigration. Even though, this man literally stopped the Republicans from passing a deal to do that, so he could campaign on it. So so clearly these voters said we didn't care if he tried to overthrow the election. We don't care about those things. And so this is what they have decided.
Hold that thought, y'all. Hey, Roland, you gonna have time to rejoin us after the mix? I know you got a crazy schedule, but if we can get you back on, can we try to get you back on?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, y'all. More Rickey Smiley Morning Show coming up.
Look, black people, we did our job. And so now what you do is you step back, take a deep breath, you regroup, and you look at the people who we've always stood with. You tell you something right. Latinos, when that man starts supporting y'all, don't look at us, hashtag we tried to tell you. Muslims, when that goes into effect, hashtag we tried to tell you. People need to understand, all of y'all folks in the Midwest, when he starts those tariffs, and then y'all start losing money because of those tariffs, and prices go up on goods and services, don't look at black people. We tried to tell you. America clearly wanted this man in. Now America is going to have to accept the consequences of what's about to come down, and it's not going to be pretty. So black folks, fortify ourselves, prepare for a series of battles, and understand we live to fight tomorrow. We got no choice. That's been our history since we were brought to this country and changed.
There it is, y'all. All right, hey, Roland, we appreciate you. How can people follow you?
Of course, Roland Martin. Go to the Black Star Network. Follow us on our YouTube channel or download the Black Star Network app.
It doesn't have to be this way, y'all. In this election, we have the chance to start moving beyond this decade of dangerous upside.
Sorry about that, y'all. Sorry, BT.
I have a serious question for you. One thing that's gonna get brought up in the next couple of days. This was one of the biggest margins of victory of an American election of all time.
I've never seen it like this.
This was the equivalent of when Golden State demolished when Golden State when they that second title, when they blew out this was like a blowout in the Super Bowl, right?
I've never seen anything like this. I've never seen anything.
And here's what I'm getting to. You had historically blue states like Pennsylvania, right? Like I know Pennsylvania is close to New York, right? It's not that far.
Yeah.
So Philly is a blue city, but didn't Donald Trump win Philly? Or regardless of that, Trump won Pennsylvania and Wisconsin.
Right.
Two historically blue. That means that it wasn't just Republicans, it was Democrats, because these cities are blue because why? A lot of Democrats live there. With that being said, all this fear mongering, all this bashing, all this what ifs, you don't think that these people, so they keep saying unintelligent people. Philadelphia has one of the highest amount of educated black people in America. Philadelphia has one of the highest amount of college enrolled black people in America.
Yes. I go to Philly. I used to go to Philly all the time.
So with that being said, you don't think that these people, because keep in mind, Trump won Philly in a landslide. So you can look me in the face and tell me right now that these people didn't do their research, and it was black men and women who voted for Kamala Harris. No, not Kamala Harris. I'm for Donald Trump. You can look me in the face and tell me that they didn't do their research at all. Forget everything that you're going to tell me about. You don't think that these people did their research and said to themselves that they believe that Trump's the better candidate due to XYZ?
Well, you got to understand. See, and that's the thing. The highest number of minorities are Hispanic. You understand? The highest number of minorities in the country are Hispanic. Okay? And a lot of them, especially in New York, and we're a blue state, but in New York, they don't want them dudes here. You know what I'm saying? They are tapping into the Hispanic money. They don't want it. They want these immigrants gone. I'm telling you.
Hell yeah.
Telling you, B. I'm telling you that they tapping into the Hispanic money, and them niggas don't like that.
And
so you got the men, you got the Hispanics, you got the whites, and guess what? You got the small hats because Trump rocked with Netanyahu. You got all these people, that want Trump in. I mean, it's a beautiful thing.
Side down thinking beyond the constant buzz of rancor and hate, and do that work of building a more vibrant.
Hold on.
Hold it. He's half man, half woman. It's Gary. I wanna hip you to
Oh, so they didn't have much.
And I'm telling y'all,
And
that was the last election. It ain't gonna be no midterm. It ain't gonna be.
There's no fixing this.
None.
There's no going back and for the people who said I demand tangibles, or we demand tangibles, or we demand to be heard. Well, guess what? Now you're never gonna be heard, because trust me, the people that are there now, they don't care about your needs and your wants and your tangibles.
Well,
and they don't owe you anything.
Just to play devil's advocate, I think that there is some stupidity on the side of people who feel like Trump is fit to lead, but there's also stubbornness on the side.
These people they're not calling no grown man stupid to his face for voting for Trump. Understand that.
Right.
They're not called like these. You have to understand what kind of people these are. These are your people who are like, these are your keyboard warriors who will tell Prince Simp, F you nigga, don't be F you nigga, you Oakland. They'll say that on the keyboard, but they're not gonna talk to you. They're not gonna say this to your face because just their ideology makes them very cowardly people. Not even on political side, from an ideology standpoint, these are very cowardly people because for one, they insult people for their beliefs, and then number two, they're bought and paid for. Not one thing honest to God, if this was their campaign, I'm not gonna lie to you, I'll be turned off just by the insults. I can listen to. I'm not a Republican, bro, and I'm not gonna lie to you, act like I am. I heard quite a few Republicans who, black of all races, who narrowed down their policy, and not only their policy, but their belief system. And honestly, I'm not gonna lie, it will be hard for anybody to look at that and say, you know what, I kind of agree with that too. Every Democrat I heard, they were insulting the shit out of people, just trying to start a fight for no reason, like they're victims.
Well, see, that's where I might disagree. See, starting a fight is going a little too far because at the end of the day, you're talking about Rickey, Smiley, and D.L. Hughley. You know what I'm saying? So what you're trying to reference is this, like you say, this virtual fight because ain't shit real with these people.
Right.
You understand?
You're right. You're right.
Nothing's real. Like it's not a merit system. I can't earn no stripes and be higher than them. You understand? I can't physically outduel DL and my voice mean more. You understand? There's no merit system.
Absolutely.
Fucking rainbow people got bigger voices than us, dog. For men. Sad, man.
What disappoints me the most is black men. I'm not even going to talk about Latino men. I'm going to let their people deal with them. But I'm going to talk about black men and how y'all could have made such a big difference.
We the only ones that showed up, though. We outperformed the white men, the white women, the Latino men, the Latino women, all other races. We what you talking about?
Right. And that's a great point. Most black men voted for Kamala. You know, because what's happening is we have, say you use New York, okay? They said, what, 71% of black men voted for Kamala. So that number may be the whole population of another state. You understand?
Right. So
the numbers are kind of mixy, if you understand what I'm trying to say.
Here's the thing. We got the same issue in New Orleans. Now, keep in mind, I grew up in BR, but I'm from New Orleans originally, so I can use both cities as a reference point because I've lived in both. But I'm gonna use New Orleans for an example, right? Just this morning, a friend of mine sent me a text message of a girl he know who found out he voted for Trump, and she was texting him kind of disrespectfully, right? Let me tell you why it don't matter that black men voted for Kamala. It matters. Let me tell you why. It's because a lot of melanated women think that black men are bitches, and they think that the black man is subjugated to they think that the black man is they subject to push and prov around as they please. And what's going on is what this election showed, there's still a large majority of black men who is going to get in line, but there's a growing population of black men who don't just vote conservative. There's a growing number of black men in the community, Prince, who I can honestly say they're not going for just do as the black woman tells you to do, with just even though it may or may not benefit you or not, and that disturbs them. That's why you got this girl sit up in her bed almost naked, talking about how it's all our fault. When you could look at the numbers and tell black men still did what you did. Black men still did what they were told to do.
Right, they did what they was told to do.
You know, but like I was alluding to before, and forgive for going on for so long. What I'm saying is, you got a lot of melanated women who, in my honest opinion, they think that black men are bitches. They think that they can push black men around, but there's a growing population of black men, and it's only going to get bigger because it's 71% is the lowest voter turnout for black men ever in the 2000s. Like Barack Obama had 90, Hillary Clinton had 90. She had almost a few more votes. She would have been in the 60s. Like, who's to say the next time a Democrat runs won't be 50%? because a lot of black men, they're becoming more and more conservative due to the fact that things are changing, man. Things are becoming more expensive. Things are becoming more. Well, I'm not gonna ramble on too long. You know what I'm getting to.
Like I said, they got to come back home.
Right.
That's some of my main argument, that they got to come home. See, like I said, even if the economy goes to shit, it's only gonna hurt them. They gonna need a man. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's my favorite part. They gotta come back home, and they're very upset over that. And I'm like, whatever. What was we playing, man? Oh, we got to. Okay, let's go to Tanya. Fuck it. Let's do it. Let's do it, man. It's a beautiful thing, man. Yo, I don't know if any of y'all are taking as much joy as I'm taking out of women talking from a chin down. Your chin is down, your eyes are down, and you're upset, and you're laying in the bed, and you're half naked, and everything's wrong with them. And ain't nobody did shit to them. You understand? I like that. See, because it's not, we didn't do anything but win. See, it was fair game. See, they believed that you could vote and beat men. And that's all this is. I don't see why we trying to make anything more out of this.
That's exactly what it was. This whole election was an extension of the YouTube social media gender war that's being created by people who, in honest opinion, they're depressed. They're mad at the world. They're mad at the other gender for something, and instead of coming to a logical midpoint, they want to rage out. And like I said, it's mainly these women on social media, bro. They look at this election as their opportunity to finally beat a man. But it's more than just that. You had a woman who represents all the petty little ideals they had, but on the big stage, they saw just how little people care about that.
Well, see, you got to understand. See, you know me, dog. You know me as best as you can. And one thing you know about me is I ask them questions. You know what I'm saying? So, gladiators and regular people in the real world in my life, I would say to them, are you pro-abortion? They would say no. Do you want queer books in the schools? They say no. Do you want boys playing in girls' sports? They say no. Are you going to vote for Kamala? They say yes. See what I'm saying? So it's just weird. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's weird. Rickey Smiley knows everything that we know. So when they lose, we can't say nothing but, yo, we beat your ass. It's all good. See, because they would have did the same to us. I'm not I don't let bitches off the hook. I don't do that. Man.
I know. I don't either.
This is our victory. And one thing that makes it beautiful for me is because they want White Zaddy to protect them, but they really don't like them. But they want White Zaddy to protect them against the black man. White Zaddy sat their ass down. See that? And he been doing it. He took Roe v. Wade. The White Zaddy been putting the pressure on them. You see that? To where black men was like, well, hold on. We did have this country in our own hands. And I was telling people, white number one, black number two, then Mexican and all them number three. That's how Trump wanted it from day one. I was telling niggas that during his first campaign. Trump wants white first, black two, and everybody else third. Black people wasn't trying to hear that shit. I was like, yo, that's the order the country been in forever. Forever. I don't know when black people, niggas in the barbershop was like, nah, I ain't number two under nobody. I was like, brother, you sound stupid. We're number two in this country. That's a great space. And now with all this immigration and stuff, it came to bite them all in their ass. Now nobody like immigrants. You know what I'm saying? Now nobody like immigrants. I was warning people like, yo, bro, this country was white first, black second. We built this country. They respect us. They owe us. Welfare was here for us. You sit there and let Mexicans come over here, make 5 fucking babies, get a 5-bedroom house. Poppy go do landscaping, him and his cousin off the books while they pulling in money. And the other poppies come over and they live in the house and they pulling in money while you black motherfuckers want to live all alone and spend all this money. It was a whole system. It was a whole system, dog. It was a whole system. You know what I'm saying? A whole system.
So I probably will be doing some of those in the near future. And speaking of Vera being in Nigeria,
I was feeling some kind of way, but now I'm okay. I was strange. Went out. Yes, it was strange. I went out yesterday, and every black woman smiled at each other yesterday. Like, at least we tried. I like that. I like that. Hold on, man. I like that. This is the tone that bitches supposed to been talking in. See that? See that? See that comment right there? So I read the comment that's on the screen. And one thing that Disagreeable has always said, these bitches prey on each other's pussies together. Yo, these bitches are something else. I don't mean pray like stalk. I mean pray like in heaven. They pray for each other's pussy. Yo, this shit is crazy. Yo. Hey, yo, what happened to our sisters, B? They pray for each other's pussy. So the comment says, I was feeling some kind of way, but now I'm okay. It was strange when I went outside yesterday. Every black woman smiled at each other yesterday. Like, at least we tried, sis, but we still lost. Bah humbug. Wow.
videos of Nigerian people really talking about how they love, this strong man Trump who says it how it is. So nonetheless, let's keep going forward. So I'm a certified clinical hypnotherapist. I'm also a life coach, and I'm doing an event in December called New Self to help us heal and become the selves that we choose to be. Really let go of some of our past trauma and step into the life.
Ma'am, why would you want to throw an event like that for black women? Why would you even want something like that? Why wouldn't you just tell black women, go get the man that you deserve, that you desire? Why is it so complicated? Because, like Disagreeable said, you bitches got a pussy prayer circle. Yo, they pray over each other's pussy. It's some of the saddest. Black women, like I said, now one thing I know box. Black women's vagina is not the best anymore. They so worried about praying over each other's pussy. I mean, praying in heaven. Like, they don't even know how to fuck no more. It's sad, son.
That we want. And I felt that the information that I had from this chapter that I just finished reading would be really helpful for people, so I wanted to share it with you all. We're talking about parents and them transferring their trauma onto us and calling it raising. I was reading this book on how we become who it is that we are, and the first chapter talks about parents and them transferring their unresolved, unconsciously transferring their unresolved trauma onto their children. And so
there we go. I mean, I don't know when life got that complicated. Hold on, man. Is this the Trump shit, Dolomite?
And our whole self. And so, child, they are coming through your vessel. And for those of you who have already raised your children,
because we did the Trump shit. I mean, this bitch is sick. This was the Trump one.
Here is also the description of the video. I'll post it here. I got the indication that the election did not go to Kamala. I went to Post Up today to warn you all about Russian bots, and I saw a map. It was like a thumbnail. So hold on, let me see if I can look up U.S. voting This is not telling me what I need. Let me see if that same thing comes up. You know, sometimes you see a thing and you just, and so here's another one. It looks like Harris got 214.
At least we know we stand. At least we know where we stand as women. I don't know what type of sick shit the black woman has gotten on, but what I do know is black men have caught up to that psycho and delusional behavior, and black men have said to themselves and other brothers and sisters, "Man, we have caught up to the shit that you're doing. We've caught up. Why are you still doing stupid stuff? We see what you're doing. Don't you see we don't fuck with you like that? Not me. I rocks with the black woman. I'm just talking about my brothers. You know? Kamala hide the evidence Harris. Yeah, she ain't black. I mean, what are we supposed to do with these black people, bro? Serious. Oh yeah, This was I had saw something about the deportation. It might not be this one. I gotta get my tea though.
Julie Roginski, I'm going to go to you on this because, of course, he's making the speech at the White House against this backdrop of a lot of finger pointing right now in the Democratic Party. Some who are saying, look, had President Biden not announced, to try to get reelected, and we all know how that transpired later on, perhaps this wouldn't be the situation. And we'll never be able to know, right? What do you say to that?
No, I'm going to speak some hard truths to my friends in the Democratic Party. This is not Joe Biden's fault. It's not Kamala Harris's fault. It's not Barack Obama's fault. It is the fault of the Democratic Party in not knowing how to communicate effectively to voters. We are not the party of common sense, what the message that voters sent to us. For a number of reasons, we don't know how to speak to voters. When we address Latino, and language has meaning. When we address Latino voters as Latinx, for instance, because that's the politically correct thing to do. It makes them think that we don't even live on the same planet as they do. When we are too afraid to say.
See, this is what we've been dealing with, y'all. We've been dealing with bitches on the screen. And all we got to do is listen to them talk over and over and over and over. Where the men don't have a voice. And when you get a man that's some soft-ass brother, that's the life we've been living. They took our fucking... I'm not a comic book dude, but I like to watch the Avengers and stuff like that. But I can't watch that bullshit. Everything is woman and gayed up. I can't do it. I mean, I can't even watch TV anymore, bro. But this is what's been going on. The narrative, whatever the narrative is, has been pushed by a woman's face. And you can see it on her face. She's not happy. You know? But I had saw something about the deportation. You could just see like the pain on these people's faces. It's like, wow. Y'all really hate some Trump. God damn. My goodness. Some deportation shit they was talking about. We could try this.
A potentially big shift is coming to U.S. immigration policy as Donald Trump is headed back to the White House. CNN has been reporting that allies of the president-elect and some in the private sector are quietly preparing for a large-scale detainment and deportation of migrants in the United States, which is right in line with what was really the...
Now, understand what's going on here with the deportation plan. Understand what's going on. This is a great deportation plan because what's happening is everybody is saying, look, the migrants, they work for all of these gig economies and all this other stuff, and they are being taxed every time that they, transact or whatever they do, they cash out. So all of these immigrants that they brought in, they say that these immigrants are paying about $94 billion worth of taxes. That's the money that they've brought in to pay taxes through these immigrants, right? And Trump is like, I don't give a fuck how much money they bring in, right? And then they saying, so you're going to take that $94 billion out of the economy, right? And you're going to pay a bunch of money to get them out of here. So the plan is going to be more so like he's going to round them up and detain them, put them somewhere. They getting their ass off the street. So while we trying to get all these funds together to put you back to where you came from, we're going to detain you. You see what I'm saying? Hey, yo, that shit is crazy. Yo, the nigga said, yo, he going to detain their ass. So it's going to be like that. We're not going to just pick you up and say, no, we're going to detain them, round them up. We're going to round them up first, okay?
Singular most repeated agenda item from Donald Trump on the campaign trail, which is the mass deportation of undocumented immigrants. He reiterated his promise minutes into his victory speech early Wednesday morning.
We have a country that needs help, and it needs help very badly. We're going to fix our borders. We're going to fix everything about our country. And we made history for a reason tonight. We're going to have to seal up those borders, and we're going to have to let people come into our country. We want people to come back in, but we have to let them come back in, but they have to come in legally. They have to come in legally.
Joining us right now is the former acting director of ICE, John Sandwag. It's good to see you again, John. I want to dig in, beyond the policy headline of mass deportation, really what that could look like now. You and I talked for years about the border and real solutions and what that could really look like. What do you think a policy of mass deportation does look like and the impact it'll have?
Well, Kate, as you know, there's been very little details offered throughout the campaign, right? A lot of talk of mass deportation, a lot of talk of transnational gang members and criminal, individuals committing crimes in the United States, but very little in the way of how we're going to actually accomplish this. So, look, I think the way you got to view this is it's going to be a full assault on the current immigration enforcement system. Under the current legal framework, with current resources that are allocated to ICE, he can get nowhere near the kind of numbers he's been talking about, 1 million deportations in a year. I think just to put this in perspective,
So these are the numbers. 10,000 to apprehend, detain, process, and remove one undocumented immigrant. So you say, why would they put that up there? You say, why would they put I know I would say to myself, if I'm sitting there watching CNN and they put this on the screen, I'm like, why the fuck would you put that up there? Because basically what you're doing is you're making a case for the fucking immigrants. Well, do you want them here or do you not want them here? What the fuck? All the money that you see that they gave the migrants, basically you're cutting that money off. So that's money earned. Okay? And you taking that money to get their ass out of here. So why would you put money up there as if you're making a case for them? It's some of the wildest shit.
The biggest years of the Trump administration, ICE deported 267,000, individuals from the United States. So you got to quadruple that. So how do you do that? Well, one is you need more ICE officers. You need to increase the number of arrests. Two is with this administration, they're going to want to build mass detention camps to house those individuals before they're deported. But most importantly is the immigration courts. And you and I have talked about this for a long time. Huge backlogs have formed.
Now, see what I'm saying? They're trying to make a case. But guess what they did in New York? Guess what they did in New York? They put them niggas in 5-star hotels in Manhattan. Okay? I live in New York. I ain't never stayed in a hotel in Manhattan, right? Well, maybe I did. I'm lying. I have. Many times, as a matter of fact. Expensive 5-star hotel in Manhattan. Welfare. They went in, they put their ass over there on Ellis Island. See, that's what they don't know. See, no, not Ellis Island. They put them over there on Randall's Island, right? See, over here in New York, right? When you go down by Harlem and you cross the Tri-Borough Bridge to go over to Queens, it's a little island under there. That's Randall's Island, right? What they used to have over there was all the psych wards. So they would have the psych wards over there and they would house them and stuff like that. And they would let them go out for a little while and have a curfew or whatever the case is. They would go to Harlem or whatever and bother people or whatever the case is, right? And then you would have the Hispanics. They would go over there and play sports and all this other stuff like that. They made all the migrants go over to Randall's Island. And so they would leave from Randall's Island and disperse to all different areas of New York City, right? So All he really has to do is go lock their ass up in Randall's Island because they won't be able to get out of it. You got to cross a bridge to get from off of it. You see what I'm saying? So, like, it's going to be ways that he could detain their ass. You see what I'm saying? See, it's creative ways. It's creative ways for their ass to be detained. See, because the way the government came and put them in these little spaces, Trump can lock their ass in certain places. I definitely know Randall's Island. He can lock their ass down there. I'm telling you. So he's not going to have to build a facility for all of the migrants. You understand? We heard Kamala was flying them in. How much did that cost? Nobody care about those prices. Yeah, y'all. I think this is going to be a little more strategic because the way that they brought the migrants in, they kind of like in certain little areas, especially in New York. You know where they are in New York. See what I'm saying? Because they had fucking opened up old schools that hadn't been open in years. And I'm sure they did that in other places where these migrants are. They know where they are. See what I'm saying? They ain't got nowhere to go. So don't get scared if you hear people saying they can't be detained or they can't be deported because of price. Because I see something here, especially this Randall's Island thing. They got they got thousands of migrants on Randall's Island, y'all, and they come from off of the island with these electric bikes and shit and scooters and shit, and they disperse to all over New York City doing Grubhub and all of that stuff. You know? Kamala Harris and them did that shit. Basically saying, yo, how you get a Grubhub account? You just got here. They gave them niggas social security numbers and everything, B. Trump said, we getting them niggas up out of here. This is crazy.
The Supreme Court has said that migrants before they're deported are entitled to due process. So how do you get them through the courts? And I think what the administration's thinking is, how do we bypass those courts, right? Not supplement them, not surge resources to them, but how do we eliminate that right to the courts in the first place? And that's going to be really the focus, I think, of what they're going to launch here.
Yeah, because it's not just a decision that there is not a magic wand that can fix this. That goes without saying. There is precedent. And as you said, what the Supreme Court has decided is could directly run straight up against what their desires are to do and how quickly they move. The simple fact of existing space is a big question. Existing space run by the federal government and ICE to use as a detention space. How much space does the government have? What will happen if there are...
Now, you see that? See what I just broke down and how they're lying? How CNN is lying? It don't work like that. They got these motherfuckers over on Randall's Island, dog. They can't get out of there. I promise you. All other things equal, Kamala's policy is so bad and vague. Poor communicator, no confidence. Come on, man. Pathetic. Come on, man. But only thing that scared me about Kamala is she raised that $1 billion and she had all the big wigs. I really thought that shit mattered. And then, I didn't know that all of the men, all in the other places of the country, I'm in New York, I'm fucked. You know what I'm saying? But all y'all other niggas stepped up, B. It was beautiful to watch. I watched the whole thing. I was like, oh shit, the rest of America is on some shit. New York is cooked. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, New York is done. I tell you, B, you do not want to live here. As far as, trying to have any sort of like, you know how it is, man. We done grew up with every fucking nationality you could make up. That's how come we got, me. That's how come I got the box experience, B. Straight box investigator. Y'all niggas went to high school. You kept sleeping with black girls. I didn't do that in high school. How you say? I was getting cultured, homie. A manufactured economic crisis And they're using the open border, right, to rush, right, to rush all of us into another economic Great Depression. Well, it's tricky because you got to understand. Let's say they got 1 million migrants in New York, right? Or more. In New York City, right? We're not talking about upstate and all this other stuff. These people are tax paying. They are contributing to the country. My governor, Kathy Hochul, matter of fact, let's do it. My governor, Kathy Hochul, she got in the same way Kamala got in. Okay? She got in the same way that Kamala got in, right? Because something happened to Mario Cuomo, right? Kathy Hochul, migrants, right? She got in the same way that Cuomo got in. I mean, because Cuomo, they put him in jail. Something happened, but she didn't just win. She got in like Kamala, right? So she was doing news conferences when they was dropping all the migrants up here from Texas, right? And she was like, shit, they want to work, shit. We're going to make a place for them. They want to work. See, because they getting this tax money. They getting this tax money, homie. Like, it's always about the money. In New York, you could see it a little more evident. Tell the truth, shame the devil. What's good, Eugene Lane? I appreciate you, son. This clown doesn't know how to read economic indicators. What about the jobs added being revised down from every month from June to October? Only 12,000 added in October. Well, you got to understand something. It was tricky. Sam. What happened was this, in my opinion. I'm not an economic advisor, but what I do, because I ain't got no damn money. But what happens is this. See, it was only 12,000 jobs added, right? See, I see what they doing because I'm only looking from New York. It was 12,000 jobs added, right? But the unemployment rate didn't go down. See that? It was 12,000 jobs added, but the unemployment rate didn't go down. Why? What does that mean? What happened was nobody, even when you watch Bloomberg and all that stuff, nobody really is talking about the boom in the gig economy, real tax-paying citizens. See, the boom in the gig economy, I'm telling you from a New York standpoint. I'm sitting here watching it, okay? The boom in the gig economy is coming from the migrants. So 12,000 jobs added, but no drop in unemployment. That's because ain't no drop in unemployment. They're just not being counted as corporate jobs. It's gig economy. See what I'm saying? And it's 94 billion in taxes that they claim migrants draw in. It's nasty. Nasty. Prince Simp, I never had box back in middle school or high school. I was part of the 80% club that went without and could not pull females like that. Wow. And you said you live upstate New York? Oh, you know you was pissed off when you grew up. Yo, son, you was pissed off. You up there in Albany, New York, nothing but jungle fever. Nothing but jungle fever. And fast black bitches. Albany is black. Yo, let's do it. Story time. Let's do it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Let's do it. Niggas want story time or what?
You can't fight me. In the Porsche, I box you out. I show you how to do this, son. We don't. I show you how to do this, son. We don't.
Listen. I am one of the top box investigators. As I told you niggas over and over, I could die, nigga. I could die. And I have had all the box that I could ever want in life. I wouldn't be upset of the boxes that I didn't get because I had every box in life. Right? Now, Albany. How many boxes I had in Albany? I definitely know at least 2. I had 2 boxes in Albany. Man. I had 2 boxes in Albany. I went up to Albany and it was like, yo, it was like, you know, them niggas in Albany is thorough. Albany, them niggas get money. It be some New York niggas. It be some upstate niggas. Niggas be getting money up there. Niggas be dying up there. And the girls look good up there. Let's just call it what it is. You know what I'm saying? So, I went up to Albany. Went to that girl's house, you know what I mean? Shorty, nice little brown skin shorty. Knocked her down all night long. But funny thing is, I had went to her house second from the time that I went there first. Now I went there with my homie. I had my homie that he had this white girl. I hooked him up with this white girl, and I had this black girl. All right, I had met they came down to New York. I met the black girl, never saw the white girl, but I hooked my homie up, so I didn't have to go up there by myself, right? So he had the white girl, I had the black girl. Yo, these was the good days, dog. When it was about going up to girls' cribs and chilling and stuff like that, and getting boxed and all that other stuff. This girl over there, she had the crazy rump. She wasn't fat. She had the crazy rump. But it is what it is, man. Yo, this nigga said he didn't have no girls in high school. I understand, man. That's tough. I heard girls back then, they were not feeling me like that back then. I was chubby, sweet, quiet, back of the class type dude. But right, I understand. I was on some nerdy shit. I was on some nerdy wannabe Bruce Leroy Monk shit. I asked them to dance, even dated, but was strictly waiting for marriage. And nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that, son. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that, man. You could have caught a disease or something with them nasty bitches up in Albany, son. You know? I was up in Albany last year, but like I said, I wasn't in Albany. I was in Jamestown. I ain't get no box that trip. But my homie, he would go to Albany sometimes, and you know, I never wanted to go. But he would leave. He would go to Albany, and then I would stay up in Jamestown. I was doing different kind of work, but I didn't want to go, man. You know, because I know I would get caught up in this box, and I didn't even want to do it because Albany got mad bitches. All right, this is Governor Holcomb. That's 7 months ago on The View. I believe this was 2 years ago. This was serious. She been on it. She's like, yo, they want to make money, yo. They paying taxes, yo. It's all good. She didn't give a damn.
¿Ha tenido un accidente? Comuníquese con las oficinas legales de Brandon J. Broderick. Con un
flight law, which is now the law of the state of the land. Something that early on in my career as a county clerk, I had taken a position that has now evolved, and that evolution coincides with the evolution of many people in the state of New York. I'm proud of that law, and if you want to read an op-ed that I wrote on it, many people in our state said it, would argue that that was a turning point when they read that and saw the position I had taken in support of that law, that our immigrants need that. They need to be able to get to their jobs, and parents need to take their kids to doctor's appointments. And I'm proud of supporting that law, and you can ask anyone my positions on that at this time. I think
yeah, like I said, that was 3 years ago. I mean, she been on this migrant shit. This shit been serious. I did want to go through that Letitia James stuff. That is one ugly bitch.
This is great. But New York, has shouldered this burden for far too long. Since the first migrants began arriving at the Port Authority bus terminal last year, city and state have poured tremendous funds, billions of dollars, and energy into helping them. The city has been helping by the state to manage this in partnership with our state legislature. And in our budget, we allocated over $1 billion, now upwards of $1.5 billion, for providing shelter, National Guard, public health, transit, case management, and legal services for asylum seekers, especially
$1 billion toward $1.5 billion towards migrants in a little bit of time. Like I say, in New York, it's been hell. It's Sam, in New York, I've tried to tell you, think I be talking shit. It's been hell. A shame that a fraction of the percent of the population got more sway than me. Yo, son, dog, you think I be talking? Yo, bro, I would never play with you niggas. I take this shit serious as I could.
Especially for housing. That's in addition to the over 200 shelters and hotels that are stood up by the city of New York with some financial support from the state. But now, many of you are starting to see open space turn into enormous temporary shelters, buses arriving at hotels in several upstate counties. And undoubtedly, you have many questions. Why are they coming? Why New York City? Why are these large shelters being built? And will they move to communities throughout the entire state of New York? The bottom line is you're wondering, what does this mean for me and my community? And what are our government leaders doing to address it? Exactly 2 years ago today, I became your governor. I work every single day on your behalf to address the issues facing all of us. And that's why I'm speaking to you directly today, the people of New York, to give you the answers you deserve. These individuals are literally fleeing for their lives. Political strife, gang violence, extreme poverty, and persecution. They're coming to this country with the same goal that my once impoverished Irish grandparents did, just to build a better life for themselves and their families.
See that? That was the Kamala Harris rhetoric. Migrants are coming here illegally to build a better life for their families, not giving a fuck about the regular people in the communities and how life was. Obviously, Trump is not going to be able to deport all. And he's not trying to because, like I said, they're paying a lot of tax money. So we'll take a good percentage. Just take some of them out of here, okay? See, Trump ain't trying to take them all out. Just get some out. Make us feel good. See what I'm saying? So, but I just want y'all to understand where I'm coming from a New York standpoint. Listen to what she said. See, I know what I'm talking about because I see this shit all over. Listen, she said building places, hotels, meaning Trump can easily identify where these motherfuckers are.
Over $1 billion, now upwards of $1.5 billion, for providing shelter, National Guard, public health, transit, case management, and legal. And despite the fact that this is a national, indeed an inherently federal issue. But New York has shouldered this burden for far too long. Since the first migrants began arriving at the Port Authority bus terminal last year, city and state have poured tremendous funds, billions of dollars, and energy into helping them. The city has been helping by the state to manage this in partnership with our state legislature. And in our budget, we allocated over $1 billion, now upwards of in addition to the over 200 shelters and hotels that are stood up by the city of New York. With
200 shelters and hotels, not including Randall's Island. So all these migrants are easily identifiable, at least in New York. So he will be able to round some of these motherfuckers up. Okay? So don't get scared thinking that he won't be able to get rid of these migrants or at least round them up and detain them. Doesn't mean he got to build a facility. They done already built them. So instead of what she's saying, how you got, what's that shit that's not the army? What's that shit that's not the army? Fuck. Lost my train of thought, man. The shit that's not the army that they send everywhere. The FEMA stuff. What they call them niggas? Dang. Anyway, them niggas that ain't the army. Instead of having them watch the migrants and help the migrants, now it's about detaining their ass. It's going to be a simple process, okay? It's going to be a simple process. You don't have to build things to detain them. Let the motherfuckers roam about Randall's Island, but you cannot get out here and do anything. That's not a problem. So there's good infrastructure. No, it's not FEMA. What's the non-army people that come around? What they call that shit? What they call that shit, man? I lost my thought, man. The fuck do they call that shit? Matter of fact, because all you got to do is go to these dumbass army bitches, because they don't be in the real army. Black women in the military. They don't really be in the real army sometimes. They don't really be in the army. The fuck is the name of that? No, National Guard. National Guard. Yeah, National Guard. Right. National Guard. Right. So in New York, the National Guard, they the ones that monitor and help the migrants as of right now in New York. Once they get the order from Trump, now all they got to do is detain their ass. It won't be, difficult. I promise. But that brought us to a good topic, y'all. We get to watch the Gladiator BW in the Army. Unbelievable. Why do our women do this? Unbelievable. Look at our sisters, fam. Oh, I remember this.
But they're black females. And it pisses me the off that they have no respect and constantly having an attitude. And what the is up with that? Like, I'm trying my best to hold my professionalism with them, but good God, they have no respect whatsoever. Every time I talk to them, no ma'am. It's just like they're talking down to me. And
the black women got this woman, she was removed from her supervisory role, according to the Air Force, for saying stuff about black women. This is what our Army has come to.
Issues with my airmen and my NCOs that are lower ranking than me, but they're black females.
Black female.
And it pisses me the off. Issues with my airmen and my NCOs that are lower ranking than me, but they're black females. And it pisses me the off that they have no respect and constantly having an attitude. And what the is up with that? Like, I'm trying my best to hold my professionalism with them, but good.
Yeah, I understand, honey.
Impoverished Irish grandparents did, just to build a better life for themselves and their families. And while my grandpa started work in this country as a migrant farm worker, he and millions of others who came before us lived the American dream that has beaconed people from across the globe.
Man, look, people really got to understand the economy policies affect everybody. I didn't vote for Trump or Harris. Yeah, Prince Simp, you talking about chain migration. Yeah, it's serious. They like I say, don't worry. Trump, I at least in New York, I'm only talking from a New York standpoint. I don't know how they disperse the migrants everywhere else, but they got these people in designated areas in New York. Yes, they leave there and they disperse and they go do the Grubhub and all that stuff, but they go back to these designated areas with National Guardsmen and stuff there so they don't get out of line. So it's all set up. All you got to do is put 1 or 2 ICE sergeants or captains there, let them tell the National Guard what to do, leave their ass there, until you decide where you're going to get their ass. The same way you process their ass into the country, you sit their ass down in the asylum and oh, you from Venezuela? Okay, we'll send you over there. You from there? We'll send you over there. Like, how are we responsible for them? That's crazy. Crazy. But you can see this is what happened in New York, how the governor was letting everybody in New York know, I don't give a fuck what y'all think. They're going to be here.
Welcomed by the Statue of Liberty. But he lived that dream because he could work here in his adopted country. So to answer the question, people are coming here to seek asylum status here in the United States so they can be safe and ultimately work to support themselves. Why New York City? First of all, we know New York City has a long history, a proud history of embracing immigrants. In addition, in 1981, the city of New York and a coalition for the homeless signed an agreement that the city would provide shelter to anyone who seeks it. This is an agreement that does not apply to the state's other 57 counties, which is one of the reasons we can't.
See that bullshit right there? Now, there are homeless people in New York, but you ain't put them in no 5-star hotel. You ain't build up new facilities. You ain't open old schools that were closed for years. You didn't put the, like, it's crazy. But like I said, she was basically telling us in New York, I don't care what y'all think. They gonna be here.
Cannot and will not force other parts of our state to shelter migrants. Nor are we going to be asking these migrants to move to other parts of the state against their will. That said, I do believe we have a moral imperative to help these new arrivals. I'm grateful to the counties that have welcomed and supported the migrants, and we will continue to partner with them. But to level with New Yorkers, there are much needed changes at the border. There does not appear to be a solution to this federal solution problem anytime soon. And that's exactly why I need to talk to you today. This crisis originated with the federal government, and it must be resolved through the federal government. The borders and decisions about who can work are solely determined by the federal government. And since July 2022, in our first meeting with the president, Mayor Adams and I have championed the idea of a federal designation that would allow the individuals already here in New York the ability to work, to support themselves and their families. The mayor and I said then, and in countless meetings with Congress, the White House, cabinet members, at rallies with labor, press conferences, and working with business, what we've said all along is just let them work and help them.
That was the point of the video that I was telling y'all. She was like, yo, they want to work, just let them work. We was out here in New York like, what the hell are you talking about? Just let them work. They're here illegal. So that's what we've been dealing with without Trump in the office, y'all. It got crazy, man. You know? They was telling us to our face, and shit y'all could say or do about it, just let them work. They done jumped the police officer in Times Square, just let them work.
To work, to support themselves and their families. The mayor and I said then, and in countless meetings with Congress, the White House, cabinet members, at rallies with labor, press conferences, and working with business, what we've said all along is just let them work and help us out financially. That's why today I have sent a letter to President Biden formally requesting immediate executive action in 4 key areas. First, expedited work authorization so we can get these people out of shelters and into the jobs. Financial support for federal housing vouchers, schools, healthcare, legal services, case management, and shelter for us to provide.
Do y'all hear that? Do y'all hear what she went to ask Biden to do for New York? Did y'all hear that? Bunch of money. That same money could be used to get their ass out of here. See what I'm saying? And y'all heard what Biden said today. Yo, we put everything in place already. We got so many migrants out here, you can't get rid of all of them. We did what we had to do. I was like, damn, this nigga Biden talking his shit. Yeah, Biden, he did a lot, man. He fucked New York up, I'm telling y'all.
Financial support for federal housing vouchers, schools, healthcare, legal services, case management, and shelter for us to provide these asylum seekers. the use of more federal facilities to construct new temporary shelters, and reimbursement for the cost of our National Guard, which have been on the ground at these shelters throughout the state since last year.
See, I know what I'm talking about, y'all. See, National Guard who've been throughout the shelters, throughout the state. I know what I'm talking about. I've been seeing this shit. I'm telling y'all, man, this shit crazy. The National Guard is already in place. I'm telling y'all something.
Services, case management, and shelter for us to provide these asylum seekers. The use of more federal facilities to construct new temporary shelters, and reimbursement for the cost of our National Guard, which have been on the ground at these shelters throughout the state since last year. You can read my letter to the president at www.governor.ny.gov. Not only will the ability to give them employment allow them to get through this crisis, it helps solve another crisis we're experiencing in every corner of the state. I travel the state a lot. I've spoken to many on farms and businesses and hotel owners and restaurant owners and nursing home owners and hospital proprietors. They all tell me, Governor, what can you do about the shortage of workers? We have.
See that? She been all over the state, and all of the business people and big companies and everything said, what can you do to get us some more workers where we can pay them low money? She said, I got a bunch of immigrants for you. So remember, there's no getting rid of all of them, you know, but we'll get rid of some of them. I'm letting you know, if your state is anything like New York, boy, it's going to take, you know, they're coming through full force, because New York has been, this is the governor speaking, dog. You know what I'm saying? She's telling you what she has given the migrants. This was 2-3 years ago, 2022. I mean, they have been coming in here like roaches, bro.
Countless unfilled jobs that are begging for someone to just take them. So we need to do something. And here's what we can do. New Yorkers from across the state, Democrats and Republicans, have asked me for help placing these migrants into jobs that have gone unfilled for too long. We are ready to act as soon as these migrants receive work authorization. But right now, because we've been waiting a very long time, the State Department of Labor will be launching a new program this September to immediately place asylum seekers in jobs just as soon as they're legally able to work. And we're going to go a step further. And I'm ordering the Department of Labor to proactively connect asylum seekers with potential employers in anticipation of them receiving the work authorization before they're already authorized. So let's just start.
So we're going to get the migrants jobs before they even get passed. Okay? So I'm the governor, so I say that person can work because I know that person's paperwork is already in filing. So let him go ahead and work. Okay? Pay him off the books till he get his paperwork. So they have been doing it and getting these people documented. I mean, hey, man, what y'all want me to say? This was the fail-safe. This is what you call a fail-safe. They're documented. That's what Biden was telling y'all today. We put everything in place. Right, well, right, son. Leapfrog these Negroes. Right. Because if she could do all that, why couldn't she do that for regular people that was here already? Yo, New York, bro, they fucked us, dog. Yo, they fucked black people in New York. I'm telling y'all something. Only way you could get a job in New York is if you know somebody. I don't give a fuck what you qualify for. Like, when niggas ain't getting no jobs in New York. That's one of my other things why I always tell black men to get with these gladiators, because they will get you a job. I'll give them that. The Gladiator BW will get you a job. That's why I always tell niggas, get with these gladiators. Don't just let them off the hook. You know? Because you can't really just go get a job. That shit's crazy. But she let these immigrants just walk right in.
Start focusing on that crisis as well. And today, our quest continues to squarely tell the White House, let them work. Until that happens, we'll continue to need funding and sites from the federal government to help cover the massive massive expenses of sheltering tens of thousands of people in our country, in our state today. But also, ultimately, we need comprehensive immigration reform from Congress. And here's how New Yorkers can help. Contact your local member of Congress. If you're represented by a Republican, please ask them to stop politicizing people's lives, stop fighting President Biden's comprehensive, smart solutions, and work together towards solving this. If you're represented by a Democrat, ask them to support my plan for more engagement and direct support from the administration. New Yorkers, at the end of the day, we will continue to be that beacon of hope and freedom from oppression that has drawn people here and made us so incredibly fascinating. We are a state that cherishes our diversity and our inclusiveness, and we always will. For me, the answer to these two crises, this humanitarian crisis and our workforce crisis, is so crystal clear and common sense. Let them get the work authorizations. Let them work legally. Let them work. I say, New Yorkers, thank you for listening. I promise to keep you engaged and involved. And as your governor, as I promised 2 years ago today, I will always protect the interests of all of you and your families. And I am confident that if the federal government steps up and does its part, we will see this crisis through. As New Yorkers, we've been through a lot together, and we will get through this together again. Thank you.
There you have it, fam. So yes, a lot of people like her and a lot of other people are upset. Trump is coming to tear this mother down. You know what I'm saying? Trump is coming to tear that shit down. Okay? Trump is going to make the executive order of don't let them work. Like, it's going down, man. I'm telling y'all, Grubhub and all them, they going to have to sign some kind of deal with Trump, or they going to have a diminished workforce. Okay? See, that's the kind of stuff that kind of worries me, because I see what's going on. They're going to have to cut a deal with Trump. Underhand deal with Trump to let Grubhub and all of them stay with letting the migrants work. So that's why I say you can't get rid of all of them. Okay? But yeah, she told us what it was. We have shelters. We know where we put them. The National Guard is monitoring. That's easy work. You don't got to build no damn jail. It don't cost no $10,000 a day to house no damn migrants. I mean, come on. This one, they try to say, yo, it's $10,000 a day. No. But that's where CNN be lying, man. Shit's crazy. CNN be lying.
Individuals commit crimes in the United States, but very little in the way of how they're going to actually accomplish this. So, look, I think the way you got to view this is it's going to be a full assault on the current immigration enforcement system. Under the current legal framework, with the current resources that are allocated to ICE, he can get nowhere near the kind of numbers he's been talking about, 1 million deportations in a year. I think just to put this in perspective, during the biggest years of the Trump administration, ICE deported 267,000 individuals in the United States. So you got to quadruple that. So how do you do that? Well, one is you need more ICE officers. You need to increase the number of arrests. Two is with this administration, they're going to want to build mass detention camps to house those individuals before they're deported. But most importantly is the immigration courts. And you and I have talked about this for a long time. Huge backlogs have formed. The Supreme Court has said that migrants...
Now, that's important right there. The immigration forms that all of the Democratic governors put in, while Biden was in there. So with these forms, what this guy's saying is it's going to take some sort of court procedures to get some of them out of here. All the ones that got forms. But if you ain't got no forms in filing, your ass is gone. See what I'm saying? So they could try to twist it up any way you want to twist it. We don't give a fuck. You ain't got no forms, get your ass out of here. Your forms ain't being filed, get your ass out of here. Like, it don't matter. We'll take anything. We'll take anything, yo. So don't be scared out there. Trump will turn this mother up because it's actually easy. They think they did something. No, all you did was put all these migrants in certain areas that they could easily be identified. You're not scaring nobody. Like, no, we got their ass. We got their ass, y'all. So the black woman must come back home. The migrants, they better start marrying niggas. Oh, that's going to be the next show. Should the migrants start marrying people? These migrants better start marrying up because your ass is out of here. No. Dang. It's tricky though, man. A lot of landscaping companies and all that stuff. A couple poppies just came over. Shout out to the minister. Let's get, oh, I got the minister.
All these German shepherds. They turn their head to the side and act like they don't smell it.
I got you, homie. All right. I'm having a little bit of fun. Shout out to Psalm Wellback. Oh, right. We wanted to do Letitia James. That's one ugly bitch, B. I wanted to do Letitia James. But we could check this.
A little bit. Yeah. You know what's interesting about the premise about how people are reacting? I was talking with a colleague of mine earlier today, and she's younger than I am and hasn't been through a lot of elections. But I've been through a ton of elections in New York for more than 20 years. There were so few protests prior to this election. I don't know why. It's almost like a metronome on the piano, Will. In New York, it's like every 2 years, especially every 4 years. And the George Floyd protest.
Hold on. Hold on. Sorry about that, man. He been saying the immigrants will be laying up with sisters next path. Yeah, yo, I agree. It would be the right thing for them to do. Uh-oh, we got a gladiator, y'all. We got a gladiator. We got ourselves a gladiator. I've never seen anything like this, but whoa, sister. Whoa. Whoa. That was decent.
It's mild. Yeah, I'm good though.
You know, so I was on 5 a.m. train, did my gig. I got another gig after this, kind of marginally more votes. Nowhere in the ballpark of what Biden Harris got in 2020. And he still won. So there are some swing states where he did get more votes than he did last time. But as a country as a whole, we allowed this man to win the popular vote with the same votes that he got last time. So he made the correct calculation. I said it on Tuesday. I said, he's pulling our cards. And he was 100% right. He was like, why should I sit up here and try to come up with he didn't come up with a platinum plan this time. He came up with a platinum plan in 2020. He said, fuck y'all, I'm a criminal. Don't y'all like that? He did not have to cater to, he did not have to moderate his stances. He didn't have to do anything. He picked the most inflammatory.
Ma'am, if he had catered to you, if any man catered to you, will that make a difference? Why her face? Why the long face? Right. Nothing makes a difference, yo. These are some of the saddest bitches I ever seen, man. That shit is crazy. They got so much emotion for everything except the right thing. It's embarrassing.
A ridiculous piece of shit vice presidential candidate who shitted on everybody, childless cat ladies, women, everybody, and he won because we allowed it. So, you know, I know that people can say what they want to say about, well, Biden would have won, or this country is so racist and sexist, and they would have voted for a black woman. He did not have to get I would have voted for Biden, but now I'm voting for Trump vote. He didn't have to get any of those votes. All he had to do was maintain the votes that he got. And that's pathetic considering that we had a 15 million, or we had an 8 million vote lead from the last election. So this is more an indictment on, like I said, the apathy in this country and the inaction of this of people who actually affirmatively voted Trump out last time, who saw COVID and said, shit, we in the house, shit. My mama died. My cousin died. I lost my job. The economy's in the shitter. People who saw all that and went out and voted. Oh, and by the way, the racial reckoning. Those people are the ones who sat out this time. There wasn't a surge of support among Latinos. I know what the statistics show. What it shows is that the reliable Latino voters are Republicans. That's what it showed. It didn't show that he improved upon his Latino vote.
Yo, this is sad, man. This is sad. Venezuelans on mopeds running around D.C. delivering Uber Eats. Yeah, son. Mad Grubhub around here. I mean, I've never ordered from none of that shit, but yeah. I be seeing them niggas. Crazy Grubhub. They be having these little Grubhub bags on the back of their bike and scooter. You know? Paying taxes. That's, you know, that's what America cares about, taxes. They want you to get over here and earn you some money so you can pay your ass some taxes. That's what it is. So I do understand it. That's how come I say they won't deport everybody. But that's fine. Let's just get some of their asses out of here and let's get some of this swag down. As far as like immigrants thinking they're part of this shit, no. You on thin ice, nigga. Your papers don't come back right. You out of here too. Real. I used to deliver for Grubhub down here in Southeastern VA. What's Southeastern VA? What's Southeastern VA? Where the hell is that at? Where the hell is Southeastern VA? My goodness. Because VA is a large state, dog. What's on the southeastern side of VA? I'm trying to think. Southeast VA. The hell's down there? Is that ain't Roanoke? Is that Roanoke and all that? Okay, so you're not okay. So you're on the coast. All right, cool. You're on the coast. All right. Okay, Roanoke and all that is Central VA. Okay, got you. So you're on the coast. Got you. Got you, homie. Yo, them bitches on The View.
All right, we are honored here to be joined by podcast royalty. Stephen A. Smith is here.
How you doing?
Doing well. Sarah Haynes is also here. Stephen A. Smith is here. That's the important thing. We've got a great conversation on the show today about politics, and you said that you were not shocked that Trump won, but you were stunned that it was a landslide. Why do you think most people didn't see it coming?
Because the pollsters told us, and we believed them, that it was going to be a tight race. They were in panic mode. And the reason why so many people were in panic mode was because the tighter the race, the more chaos presumably would ensue because he would automatically say it was rigged. He would challenge the outcome of the election. We all knew this. And as a result, folks were fearful that it was going to be a replica of 2020. And so because of that, anticipating that, hearing the pollsters saying it was nip and tuck, it could go in either direction, that's what everybody was anticipating, including Trump himself. That was already complaining about how certain places were rigged and it needs to be an investigation, et cetera, et cetera. And then lo and behold, the election took place. And by about 9-10 p.m., when I saw so much red, and it appeared clear he was going to capture Georgia, and you heard that he was probably going to catch North Carolina. And then I saw John King on CNN say, if he captures Georgia and North Carolina, she absolutely must win Pennsylvania. Otherwise, she's not going to win. When that happened, that's when you said, holy cow. And I am somebody that I just finished speaking at West Point about 2 weeks ago. And one of the teachers there, the reason I came there was because he asked me to, was Frank Luntz, a noted pollster for the last 40 years or so. And he was telling me how fearful he was of a tight election because of the ultimate fallout that would occur. And so that also contributed to trepidation about whether or not it was, how tight it was going to be or whatever. And then when it finally came, and I said, he was talking about election night here, and I spoke at 6:30. And he said, they might not make a decision until Friday or Saturday. Right. And you went from anticipating it could be anywhere from 5 to 7 days to knowing the outcome in 7 hours.
Right.
And that was an annihilation.
Well, and the reason the polls were wrong is I think there were so many embarrassed or shy Trump voters, people that would never.
Here we go again. They actually trying to make a reason of why Trump voters were shy and not, boisterous and about to tell who they vote, who they're voting for. But they took, Kamala had the commercial, shh, don't tell nobody who you voting for. Okay, we pick up on game real well. Okay, we won't tell anybody either. And they voted for Trump. And just to see the disappointment on people's faces brings joy to me. I'm sorry. I'm a petty winner. I love to win and talk my shit. For real. I'm a petty winner. And when I lose, I'm quiet. Niggas be like, why you ain't talking shit now? I lost, nigga. But when I win, it's up. It's up. I'm just happy, man, that niggas like Stephen A. Smith, Rickey Smiley, D.L. Hughley, Steve Harvey, all these niggas, man. I'm so happy. Magic Johnson's son. All these niggas, man. I'm so happy that y'all face true disappointment because y'all really thought y'all made a difference. You thought that your voice was more powerful than regular people. And instead of coming together with everybody and saying, what do we all want together? You rather create division. At that point, there got to be a winner, got to be a loser. And that's where the real problems lie at, y'all. Maybe I'll take a lunch break or something, man. My Gladiator came home, got me a banana nut muffin, taking care of me. Then she went to her second job. So, after all, she needs some money for herself, right? Yeah, so I'll come back with another show. I need to regroup, get some more info, B. All right? Thanks for watching. Sam, good looking out, son.